Hi, I've got this year's release of Saison DuPont's dry hopped version of their regular Saison. This year they used Styrian Eureka, which is a new Slovenian hop that I don't know if I've experienced in any beer ever before. And the descriptions of the hop I found are pretty all over the place. It's citrusy, fruity, and like a red fruit flavor, and then floral with moderately spicy. And on here, it just says that, yep, the master brewer, Olivier de Dijker, said that he likes it for its spicy and earthy flavor and fresh fruit and lively citrus character, so pretty vague. This is bottled about 2 months ago, so quite fresh, especially for a DuPont Saison. I've had well over 2-year-old DuPont Saison that was extremely good, still tastes really fresh. It's 6.5% alcohol, I believe, yep. So it's just the exact same thing as their normal Saison. Nice pop. But just dry hopped. I don't know if I got last year's version, but I love the regular Saison so much, and it's always really good with their dry hopping. They don't overly dry hop it, and they don't use like American varieties or Australian varieties or anything like that that'll be really strong. They always use European ones. In the past, I think they've used mostly English hops. So this is the first time I've gotten a continental one from Slovenia. Very carbonated. I'm just gonna actually let that settle down a little bit, but it smells like Saison DuPont. Yeah, the yeast is still the strongest aroma. Yeah, that orchard fruit aroma, the pear that I always get. I guess there's an extra, I don't know if it's that citrusy, maybe like a very light lemon and orange, like sweet orange, and not very spicy. Just a little bit of black pepper. I guess maybe I'm noticing the red fruit thing. It smells almost like a cherry berry Kool-Aid or hard candy or something. But it makes for a really interesting smell. I don't know if I've smelled a beer quite like this, and all these hoppy American Saisons are being made smell nothing like this beer. This one is really cool because I like the extra dry and spicy yeast strain that DuPont uses. It's not overly clovey, it's not banana-y or too bubblegummy. Well, there are very, very light elements of that, but I think pear and the clean spiciness is mostly what's happening, and the head is always really beautiful in their beers and super, super high carbonation. Much spicier on the tongue, especially with those all carbonation just kind of popping open and leaving a lot of black pepper, maybe slightly clovey, but not too phenolic. And it does have more bitterness. Seems drier and like a bit leafier in the finish. And I guess I don't know if I've ever had a regular Saison DuPont that's fresh. It's probably a little bit more bitter when it's really fresh, like this beer is. Oh yeah, because I feel like most of the time the DuPonts I've had that have seemed a little bit sweet and maltier, but this is like really just spicy and zesty. I'm getting lots of citrus zest on the palate now, and it's kind of woodsy. It doesn't quite have the red berry flavors like I had in the aroma, but It's pretty good. I guess it's kind of like a cherry, like a mixed cherry and red berry sort of generic flavor. It is in there, but there's a lot going on, and it rakes the palate a little bit with all the carbonation and the bitterness from the freshness of the hops in there. It seems way drier than Saison DuPont usually is. So if you think that the regular version of this beer is a little too malty or something, get the dry hop version. It's really cool, and this is super duper fresh. So really in your face. I'm gonna need to burp soon because it's really carbonated. But wow, it's just leafy, woodsy. I guess a lot of people just say rustic, farmhouse. It's not. There's no bread. It's not sour. It's not funky barnyardy or anything like that. We don't do the wild yeast thing or the bacteria thing at DuPont. Well, this is a really interesting Saison, one that you will almost never come across a brewery in America making something like this. And the amount of the hops they use seems like it's a lot. I think they for the bittering, in the base beer they use like Goldings, I think the English hop, and then I guess throwing the Polish hop on top of it is just a very different hop experience than what we're used to in America. And I'm glad we got this beer pretty fresh this year. It's very cool. I highly recommend it. Actually, just for anyone, but so you can get a different idea of what a Saison is, what a dry hop beer smells like. It's really different. I'd like to experience this hop in like a dry hop pilsner or something. I think it would be really interesting. And it adds just a little bit of an interesting red fruit citrus zesty character on top of the regular awesome DuPont Saison. I'd give it 4.25. I mean, I love this beer, and this is kind of one of the yearly releases that I'm always waiting to see on shelves, because it just amps up the perennial Saison DuPont so much. It makes it really interesting to taste a variation on the classic, one of the best beers in the world. So that's it. Goodbye.